world of overwhelming sensory stimuli, a group of seemingly ordinary individuals has come together to sort through all the crap, all the spam, bring you everything relevant, everything interesting, everything nerd. This is Nerd Talk and Other Stuff.
Never played it before.
It's alright. The only thing, it's funny that you say that though, because the only thing we try to avoid is video games, just because there's so many goddamn video game shows out there.
Alright.
Diablo 3's not bad.
Well, he's a Batman expert. He knows absolutely everything about Batman, pretty much. So there's that. That'd be kind of cool.
What do you think of Batman Brave and the Bold?
That's one show I didn't really appreciate. No.
See, I like it. I liked all the off-kilter Batman villains like that they threw in.
What's up, guys?
Not yet.
Record.
Not yet.
It is recording.
Oh.
It's the first rule.
Always have it recorded. Nice.
I might be able. I've been thinking about trying to get back into it, but I just haven't yet.
Is that the one that, it's all campy and...
Yeah. It's
older
like
style,
really goofy.
like
Batman's
Adam
out in the
West.
daylight.
It came out in the mid-2000s there, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's silly. It's nice to put on Netflix.
I know, Green Arrow was on it. Yeah, it is on Netflix, which is
They
convenient.
have a comic series, don't they?
What?
Batman Brave and the Bold, where they do the campy... No, it's Batman 65.
Batman 66.
66,
Yeah,
yeah.
they do have Batman 66.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're making an animated feature of it next year with Burt Ward and Adam West.
Oh, I just saw a little bit of that,
yeah,
a news blurb about that.
absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be watching
That'll be
that.
for next year because that'll be the 50th year that the show's was first released.
Oh, really? It's
Yep.
50th anniversary.
So,
I heard the Blu-rays of the original Batman series are awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking about downloading them, but I haven't. I don't know if that.
You remember when we were kids and we saw the Batmobile from the original series? It was a really long time.
Yes.
There's still pictures at my grandma's house.
Yep. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't remember much. I think we were what, 5, 6?
Yeah.
So I think that was right after the first Burton Batman flick came out.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
or after Batman Returns.
No, Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Actually, I got to sit in the first Batman, and I guess Batman Returns in that Batmobile.
Oh, the
yeah.
Burton one?
Yeah, when I was
Oh man, that's my favorite.
8 or 9, we went to an automobile show in Houston, Texas, and they had that Batmobile.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That is by far my favorite. Thing's so
Yeah.
badass.
that Batmobile was.
They need to bring that
legit.
back. That concept design is really good.
I wonder what it's going to be in this new one.
I think it's gonna be more laid back than the Tumblr.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
I thought it was going to be like Dark Knight Returns, so it would be a big battle tank or something.
I heard it's gonna be a car.
They're going car?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, they haven't released too much info on that yet. I know a lot of the Justice League's gonna be in that as well, setting up for the Justice League films. But
Khal Drogo is Aquaman.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome.
Hey, while I'm thinking about it, we have guests. Maybe we should introduce the guests.
Yeah.
So we got Ross
Hello?
and James,
how's it going?
the Batman expert.
I'm Travis J. Blues. Still here.
Yep, I'm Baker,
Still here.
still here.
Beef's out.
Yeah,
somewhere else.
beef's up. He was too quiet last podcast, so we fired him. Well, he actually moved a little bit too far away for either of us to want to pick up to do this. So.
Yeah. It's more the I don't have enough money to put gas into my...
That was a long
Gas goes in the
drive when we
vehicle.
drove there.
Yeah,
It's
it's-
not that long, but that's 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's long enough to make it
Yeah.
no.
He lives in the country now. Holy cow.
Oh.
But did you guys hear about Pixar releasing their rendering software for free?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, you could go and get Pixar's rendering software and use it to your heart's content. But if you want to make money off of it, it's like $495 for the licensing fee.
It's still not bad if you
No.
not at all.
It's smart. They're training their new people.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a really smart way to do it. I mean, somebody comes in, goes to get a license. I'm sure they get to see whatever it is.
Yeah.
Boom, recruiting.
Yeah.
That's really cool, though. I'm definitely gonna download that and play around with that a bit.
When does that come out? You know.
It's out.
It's out.
It's
Yeah.
out.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
called
wow.
it's called Render Man.
Render Man. All
All
right.
right, let's take a look. Free, come and get it. Free non-commercial Render Man is now available.
Holy shit.
Cutting edge technology.
Incredibles 2. That's coming out.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's
They
great.
are going to do another Incredibles.
I know.
I love that movie.
That's one of the best superhero movies.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's...
Oh, I just saw that for the first time. I'd say within the last year,
Me too.
and I just never got around to it. But that was actually one of the better Pixar movies, which is.
Definitely. I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
I like
right
the
up
Toy
there.
Stories and the Finding Nemo. Like
Finding
Yeah.
Nemo was awesome.
yeah.
Finding Nemo is a great
And
flick.
they're making a sequel
Straight
to that next
Yep.
for next year.
Finding Dory.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyone else cry at the end of Toy Story 3?
Yeah,
I
a
haven't seen
little
it.
tear.
I don't know if
saw it
my
in
childhood
theaters,
could take that.
It's a tearjerker, man. You can't help it.
That's what I've heard.
It's like that Futurama where the dog dies.
Oh
Yeah, yeah.
God,
but-
it was such a, that was
Yeah, every time-
horrible.
I tend to, that one just. That
Yeah, I
gets
skipped
you.
that one.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
Right
right in the
heartstrings.
feels, man. Right in the feels.
They have me sold on this free software. Nice picture of Groot pops up right away.
Oh yeah, I suppose it's the same company.
I didn't even think about that. That's awesome.
That's
oh,
really
it would have
awesome.
been, wouldn't it?
So-
oh,
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Because
Disney-
technically,
Disney
because
would've.
Disney owns Marvel.
that's,
Disney
yeah.
owns Marvel.
They don't
and
own
Star
Pixar
Wars.
though.
Yeah, they do.
Disney and
Disney,
Pixar.
Disney owns
Disney owns
Pixar.
Oh, they don't
Pixar.
own DreamWorks.
Yeah.
They
No.
don't own. They do not
Yet.
yet. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
they have
wasn't-
Star Wars, Pixar,
Wait, they have Star
the
Wars
Avengers.
too
I
on there.
mean, yeah, they're Disney World's going to be kind of cool in the upcoming years. I think.
Wasn't Pixar an Apple product or an Apple business? They started originally and then they sold it to Disney.
Yeah, they did sell. I don't know if it was an Apple, but yeah, they did. That was actually. It wasn't even that long ago. I don't think
I want to make something that
they won
I
how
can
many
sell
Oscars?
to Apple.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna download this right now while we're doing this podcast.
Might as well. I'm gonna do it when I get home.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Work for Pixar.
I just like this future where like you can do creative things and work, but also like work from your house.
Oh, I know, right? I mean,
You don't have to talk to people.
what
like,
we just
hate
did it
people.
with
Yeah.
the green screen right behind us. I mean, just slowly buy everything,
Yeah,
find all the little cheap tricks, and
when I was telling someone my idea for like what I want to do, making a production house, they're like, "Oh, how are you gonna find business in Green Bay?" And it's like, well,
I have a friend who does it
well,
professionally.
even so, like it's a worldwide. I could just like
Yeah.
email, like I don't have to actually be somewhere. I could be
Right.
sending files back and forth to someone.
Skyping at
Yeah.
the very most. I mean,
I could get a job in Portland and never leave Green Bay.
why though? I'd move to Portland.
Well, yeah.
Because
There's a lot of homeless there. You gotta get your hobo stab insurance.
They also have a naked bike ride.
they do have a naked bike
They have a
ride.
naked bike ride.
Yeah, but have you
Yeah.
seen those people?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so how about this coming up month?
Daredevil.
Oh
Daredevil, Game of Thrones,
Yep.
Oh, Game of Thrones starts again?
April 12th, season 5.
Oh, I'm gonna have to tell my parents to get HBO so I can jack their HBO
Right?
Go and use it in
Seriously.
my
You
house.
can just get HBO now. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, it's a new.
Yeah, you
What,
can
they
just
did
pay
that?
for HBO now.
Yeah, you
I've
can
been
just
saying
straight
that
up
for
pay it now.
years.
Yeah.
Well, it was bound to happen. All these,
Yeah.
all those companies are gonna do that now.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix changed
yeah.
the freaking world, man.
Absolutely.
Well, now that they lost the net neutrality thing, like the cable companies don't have as much hold. Like things like HBO are gonna say like, "Oh, screw this, we'll just do it ourselves."
Yeah.
Yep.
And it makes sense. I mean, it works for the
They know-
customer. It works for the business. I mean,
And they know how to make TV shows. Like
Yeah, they know how to make
Yeah.
really good TV shows.
Game of Thrones, The Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire,
Boardwalk Empire, The Wire.
The Wire.
Yeah, like
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. Dude, that season 7 with the Seinfeld. That whole season was just
Eastbound and motherfucking down.
Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's great. I love that show.
Yeah,
Kenny
it's
Powers.
good.
You fucking
Kenny
out.
Powers. I'm fucking in, you're fucking out. Kenny Powers story.
I'm not gonna stop yelling because that means I lost the fight.
I play real sports, not try to be the best at exercising.
Dude, I'm excited for Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's next month. I mean, it's coming up.
I don't even care if I have to work the next day. I'm going to the midnight
Oh
release.
yeah, I'll take off. I mean,
I have no sick days left, but I'll
I
tell
don't-
my boss to.
I don't get sick
Take
days.
off.
Yeah, that's
That one looks good.
yeah, that's gonna. I mean, it's really gonna change the
What,
Marvel
James
Cinematic
Spader?
Universe.
Yeah.
James
As
Spader is
Ultron?
Ultron.
That's so great.
Motherfucking Alan Shore is Ultron. It's
There's gonna be quite a more, at least, I'd say like 3 or 4 more Avengers in there too, like different people.
we already know Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch.
Black Panther, isn't Black Panther going to make an appearance in this?
I don't.
I don't
they,
know.
Spider-Man?
I think that those. I think
Post
they're
credit
both
scene.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
maybe post credit. Otherwise, I know Captain America next year, like at the Civil War, they're going to Uganda, which can only mean one thing:
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So, and he's, I think, getting his own movie at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
because they released their schedule, I know DC did too, which I'm kind of excited for the DC world.
Yeah,
Wasn't
that
there
seems-
another one over in Uganda
Storm.
that I believe Storm marries?
Yeah, that's Black Panther.
Is that is
Yeah.
Black Panther?
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
actually
that's-
it's actually Wakanda.
That's it. My bad. Yep.
okay, that's what I
Yep,
was.
I'm messing up there, but yeah.
That's probably what threw me off. I don't know.
The Marvel's got some cool stuff coming up. I'm actually kind of pumped for Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd. I mean, come on.
Paul Rudd's the perfect Ant-Man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Ant-Man's crazy. It was like the first Marvel character where they brought up domestic abuse and being bipolar.
You told me that.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, he's bipolar.
Yeah, he was
He,
Beast the Wasp.
Yep, and he sicked a horde of ants on her. That's some domestic abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole new level.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Imagine being a lawyer trying to defend that guy in court.
Could probably be Jarvis.
Yeah.
That
Well, how
was-
would you defend like the ant attack?
There's no laws against it.
Yeah,
That
she
is
was
true.
covered in honey, and the ants ate it all. How could you? How can you prove
So
that
you
she
use your
wasn't
powers.
covered in
Well,
honey?
there's no law that technically prevents me from using my powers. So
This is true.
Well, till the Marvel Civil War,
mm,
Tony Stark and his Superhero Registration Act.
That comic line got so boring, though. I hope the movie is better than the Civil War comic books.
it has to. I mean, it will be. It really needs to be. Like, it can't really drag it as a movie.
Well,
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
think it was.
I listened to a graphic audio product. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. I've told Trav
Yeah.
about it before. But graphic audio does audio dramas of different Marvel comics, Marvel graphic novels, and they have one for the Marvel Civil War, and then it's followed up by the death of Captain America, which is tied in with the Marvel Civil War, and it was actually really interesting when you listen to it like that, because their slogan is a movie in your mind, and it is literally a movie in your mind. Every time I've ever listened to like a bridged audiobook, it was garbage, but these are actually really good. I'll link to it on the page.
Yeah, I
And all that.
want to hear that.
It's
It sounds
awesome. You got to pay for them, if you're a legit person, and but they're really cool. They're long. It's a lot of content. I mean, I was listening to these things. I think 2 of them took up my whole 40-hour work week.
Wow,
So
that's awesome.
they were really cool. All different actors and actresses for each superhero and any character in it, and they all have very distinctive voices, and they're great at it. And the people that they pick, like Captain America, he sounded like a straight up 1940s superhero. I mean, that was his voice. Like, it was just perfect.
Nice.
And
Have you guys come across the Astonishing X-Men on Netflix?
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. Did you start at season 1 though? Because they took off a bunch of seasons.
I don't. It was a while. It was like when it first went on. When I
Okay,
checked
yeah.
it out. They put that one on, and they put like the Black Panther and the
Right.
Iron Man animatic. Is that what? No, motion comics. That's what they're called.
Yeah, motion comics. I really liked it. I mean, it's Joss Whedon writing X-Men
Oh,
comics.
was it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the first couple episodes dragged a little bit, but once they really started realizing that it's not really kids who are going to be watching this, it's going to be us. And then they really started, getting a little bit more adult with it.
Mid-20s and early 30s adult nerd males.
Dude, I
Exactly.
That is exactly
the
who
demographic.
They need they mark. That's where you're gonna get your money. We're at a point in our lives where we have money, a little bit anyway,
Enough to buy some comic books.
and we're gonna go
yourself.
spend it on it all, on all comic books.
I don't like the X-Men anymore. I liked them a lot when I was a kid, but like now I kind of get bored.
Well, Marvel is not allowing X-Men to create any more characters for them because that gives Fox the
More
rights.
things,
Yeah. They're cutting Fantastic Four off completely.
I heard that.
Yep.
To try to kill the movie,
Yeah.
so then the rights.
Fantastic Four is what launched Marvel, basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they are putting out a comic book, X-Men, what is it, X-Men 92? And it's a comic book based off of the 90s cartoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then X-Men Apocalypse, they cast Jubilee. And she's actually been in every single X-Men movie.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, they cut
just
every scene.
cut every scene every single time. Her scenes just get completely wasted.
Really?
Yep.
And she's just been in every one.
Yeah, she's made brief cameos in every single one, and it gets cut every single
That
time.
doesn't make me sad because Jubilee's like firework hands. That's like the lamest.
No kidding.
Do you guys remember Dazzler? You might
Dazzler, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the stand-up arcade, like beat 'em up?
Yeah! Oh man, that game was great.
You could be Dazzler. I was.
Yeah.
Dazzler was pretty powerful. I was either Dazzler, which sounds lame. I was Dazzler, but
She was a good character.
or Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler was good.
That's my favorite X-Men.
Dude, I remember. I
X-Men.
used to play
Bogman.
Nightcrawler on that all the time because you could bounce around like crazy.
X-Men Apocalypse has confirmed Nightcrawler's going to be in it. I'm not sure if Alan Cummings is coming back to play it. I liked him.
He
as
was good.
Nightcrawler.
He was good, but I mean, I'm not. He wasn't the.
No,
lead
it'll be
character
somebody
for him.
younger. Yeah, no, they'll pick somebody. They'll renew it.
Sansa from Game of Thrones is going to be Jean Grey, which is I like that casting decision.
That is a good decision.
I
Well,
don't
it
know
gives,
if
it gives you
Wolverine-
years to grow with a character.
Yeah, they're gonna recast everyone young that way because they're gonna start off. Like I know Jennifer Lawrence is done after this movie, so then
Hugh
That's a
Jackman
shame.
has one more Wolverine movie,
Yep.
and
He's-
done.
Do you know what he does to himself to be Wolverine?
Isn't that
to
like
get
some insane
to
diet?
get himself to look like that, not only does he diet and exercise like crazy, but you know the scenes where he's shot and his veins are all popping out, he dehydrates himself for like a day and a half before that to make his veins stick out more. And there were like multiple times during that movie where they had to stop filming because he like collapsed.
That is commitment.
That
Yeah.
is
Yep.
that is.
Say
commitment.
whatever you want about Hugh Jackman, but that is commitment.
Well, when you look and you see like, oh look, no one's body can look like that because literally, you were
If your
dying.
body looks like that, you're
Yeah.
dying.
yeah.
I like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine personally.
Oh, he's
Like, that
awesome.
movie
too.
came out.
I think it's
mean,
great.
I was
He
still.
was. That was
a
the
kid
reason
at
to
that
watch
point.
X-Men, the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah.
The second one was great.
Oh yeah,
It was
I
so
love the
good.
second one. The only good thing that ever came out of Last Stand was Kelsey Grammer's Beast. That was
Yeah.
just inspired.
But Last Stand just like screwed the pooch so much that
Oh.
that just can't happen again.
Yes, it's.
I liked the new X-Men movie. The
Days of Future
Yeah,
Past.
that was pretty good.
I like
Yeah.
that a lot, and I'm really not one for that timey-wimey crap and stuff.
that was the first.
But it needed a reset button.
I don't know. I liked First Class a lot.
yeah, that was
First
good
Class
too.
was
I actually because that I know trying to restart it like that. Yeah. Days of Future Past. I really like that one too.
That was the first movie we watched when we got our new 3D TV,
Oh yeah.
and that was like
Oh, nice.
that was money.
Me and Baker saw that in theaters opening weekend in 3D. Pretty sure it was you and me.
Did you guys
Yeah.
see Guardians of the Galaxy in 3D?
Yes.
That's the best.
Yeah,
3D
that was
movie.
amazing.
That's
That
the
was
best
great.
one.
Is it? I
Oh,
can
it's
imagine.
hands down.
I didn't see it till it came out because I was just like, eh. But when I saw it, I was just like, wow, this is a great movie. Like, I was actually shocked.
An obscure comic,
Yeah.
too. I mean, it's not even that old. It was 2008, I
It
think.
feels alive, like an old, like, I don't know, Star Wars was silly. Like, parts
Yeah.
of it were really silly, and you had to, like, imagine certain things. Like, I don't know. There was, like, more of a youthful spirit to it.
Right.
But, like, that's how Guardians of the Galaxy felt.
And Chris Pratt, I mean, I've been a fan of him since Parks and Rec. I mean, he's just
He's
a great,
awesome.
Yeah.
he's an
Yeah.
awesome dude. He also played Che in the OC, didn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be playing the lead in Jurassic Park, the Jurassic
And
World.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones.
Possibly
What is he
Indiana
gonna do?
Jones.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Chris Pratt is great.
It holds up really well outside of 3D
It,
when you think about it too.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's just
The Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy.
it's just a really good movie.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
a great flick.
a lot of the
Yeah.
time when you go to the theater and you see a 3D movie and a movie was made, with the idea in mind that they are going to do a 3D, when you watch it at home on a regular old TV, not
Yeah,
necessarily,
something gets
you'll
lost.
see it. It'll look goofy because like something will be like right there, like that item is meant to come flying out at you, but it just looks so odd the way it is, just on a flat, normal TV. But Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't notice anything like that.
Well, the
all.
reason that is because it wasn't shot for 3D.
yeah,
And
but
but usually when it's not shot for 3D and then they make it 3D, it doesn't look right. But like this looks great, like both
Well, I mean,
ways. Like,
practically the entire movie was shot in front of a green screen.
Well, that's true.
I mean, you really don't
what
have to
else
worry
could
about
you
it.
do for that?
Exactly.
that would require so much set building.
well, the new Star
Oh,
Wars is like
God.
building all the sets.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
so
they are.
exciting.
Yeah,
Practical
it's so
effects.
exciting.
That little soccer ball droid is an actual remote control
Yeah,
robot.
that blew my mind when I found out that wasn't CGI.
Apparently, the blueprints for it are online.
I'll have to 3D print one.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
Somebody
my
do that.
next purchase. I think.
Is a
3D
3D printer?
Yeah,
Do you know how long it takes to print something though?
really long.
Yeah, like a
And those
really
machines
long time.
are touchy too. My buddy's got one, and he's done basically the Star Wars cast, but the Lego versions, and they're like this tall. He's got everybody in his
Neat.
bar in the basement, and he's got a Packer lightsaber and stuff. It's pretty cool, but I mean, it takes him a while to print that stuff. I mean, days. Like if you go up here to our light switch that is a TARDIS, and he printed that off.
Really?
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
He
Nice little faceplate.
gave us some Doctor Who cookie cutters that he printed off, and a Batman one.
Those are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Made some wicked Christmas cookies.
Well, now they figured out how to print with tissue, like human tissue,
Yeah.
so they can like print like arteries and like, well, they're like trying to make something as complex as a heart.
Wow.
I was reading a little bit about that. And the process is insane, and the organic matter that they use, like, it's nuts. You have to read about it. It's, I don't know. I'll throw a link up for that too if I can remember what the article is. But it's gross.
It's gross.
It's pretty awesome though. I mean, if we could get to that point, can you imagine how many people that would save?
Yeah.
I mean, if you go online right now and you look at an organ donor list for anything, it
Yeah.
is miles long. If you printed all that out, good God. But if they could just manufacture artificially.
I heard the first person that will live to be 150 is alive right now.
Yeah.
I heard that same thing.
I heard that thing from Chris Traeger. I'm not gonna lie.
Who?
Rob Lowe's character from Parks and Recreation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Chris Traeger.
That's awesome. I
He
knew
believes he
that
is
name.
that man.
And I was like, is that a stand-up comedian? No, that's yeah.
I love that show. That was a sad farewell. I liked it. Are you a fan? Do you watch it?
Off and on. It's
Okay.
and it's sad that it ended, and I didn't watch the finale, but like Harris Whittles, one of the writers, like is a stand-up comedian. I think he was the head writer, but he like OD'd like 3 days before, like or within the week of
Oh
the
wow.
final episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
That's
know
that
that.
makes that even
Yeah.
more emotional. It is a great ending. They ended the show beautifully. This last season was basically just an extended epilogue I guess they had planned to end it, but it didn't. They pushed for 13 more episodes and got them.
No one wanted it to end. It was that's a really well written show.
Yeah, I really like that show.
And season 7 was actually I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it's great. It's up there with like the top seasons. I mean, and that show too. That show for me never really had like a dip. It never like got kind of Like every single season just kept getting better and progressing the storyline and the characters that much more. It definitely one of the best written shows on TV.
Well, in the cast, like Nick Offerman, Aziz,
he is my hero.
Nick Offerman is
Amy
amazing.
Poehler, I mean, like Adam Scott. There's not like a bad person in the whole cast.
There really isn't.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah,
I got Trav a book for Christmas that was written by Nick
Paddle your own
Offerman.
canoe.
Nice.
Oh, really? You got that?
Yeah.
I was just listening to a podcast with him on it today, and he was talking about writing that book.
Which podcast?
Nerdist.
Oh yeah, I listened to that one.
Did you do that today also?
No, not
Okay.
today.
That was so messed up.
that was weird. We listened to the same podcast for the first time at the same time, same episode apparently today.
Huh.
Just kind of happened randomly.
The Duncan Trussell Family Hour.
Yeah.
We both pulled out of the ether that we should listen to his podcast today, and also we picked the same episode to listen to.
And had Ari Shafir on it. I don't know if you've ever listened to his stand-up or his podcast. He's hilarious. He does the amazing racist videos.
Okay.
Those.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not what he is known for anymore, but that's like, that's the easiest way to
Okay.
make anybody know who he is.
Yep.
Man, Pixar really makes you work for this. Like, they want you have to join their forum before you can download the software. Like, they are just...
Well, I mean, yeah, they're gonna make you work for it.
I mean,
It's a
I'm
pretty
okay
good deal.
with it. I'm fine with it.
It's probably an initiation. Like only actual computer savvy people
Good God, image
would
verification.
put up with this shit to get it.
No kidding.
Watch out, like really read the fine print though, because then like you might be signing up for like human skin mapping.
Human
They,
scent
like,
iPad.
Yeah, they like take your skin and stretch it over wireframes to really get that skin tone look for Pixar animations. That's really dark.
I actually,
I have a movie idea.
I
It
actually
involves
just okayed
what
them
you
to go
said.
ahead and do that.
You did?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got the okay?
I'm a big guy. I've got extra skin.
It'll just be like your hair, like part of your beard, or like a tattoo. And you're
No,
like,
no, I put a clause in there. You're not touching my beard.
Is that Nick? I think it's his tattoo.
That is the same fish. I swear to God.
I just imagine it looking like Sackboy from Little Big Planet.
The sack boy.
With
God.
skin.
Have you seen that Big Hero 6 flick?
No.
I've heard that was pretty good. I was kind of interested. I mean, I grew up with those Disney Pixar flicks.
Oh, I'll watch cartoons. I'm secure enough to say like I watch more cartoons than an 11-year-old.
Yeah,
Probably.
I just watched. I just finished The Legend of Korra.
Is that any good?
Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, but both of those were like fucking top shows, and they're like cartoons.
A lot of work goes into cartoons. I
Yeah.
mean, like every little. Well, I mean now like a lot of computers do it, but every little bit has to be drawn. They have to like imagine it. You know,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, Batman the Animated
Oh,
Series
man.
is all handwritten. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it was not computer animated at all. Like the original '92 to
I just found out that they got the look for that show. It was so
Oh,
dark
yeah,
because
with
they drew on black
black
paper.
paper.
On
Yeah,
black
that's
paper,
awesome. That show, like, I watched that so much.
Yeah.
I watched that all the
I watch
time.
Batman Beyond constantly.
That was great.
That was a
Batman Beyond's
great.
a good
That
one.
needs to be a movie. That needs to come into the DC universe. If they're going to extend it, they should
Well,
toss into Batman Beyond.
they're bringing in the comic world in June. DC's relaunching like
Yep.
everything after
Again?
Conscience. Well, they're canceling out a thing, and it's not going to call it the New 52. It's called, I think, the Convergence era. But anyways, it's just going to focus on different comics. But Batman Beyond is going to be one, and I think they're aiming at Tim Drake being it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But
That's
then, yeah, they're bringing it at least back into the comic world, so maybe they'll bring it.
Yeah, that original show, though, I mean, it was great. I mean, did you guys see the Return of the Joker movie?
Yeah, it was
Batman
good.
Beyond?
That's
That was
really good.
fantastic. Mark Hamill returns as the Joker.
Well, they're doing those DC Comic Presents movies often now. Maybe they'll do like an updated.
Well,
Batman
they've
Beyond
done Year
animated
One
film.
and like Dark Knight Returns. Those are like classic. I mean, they're an essential list, but yeah, they do so many animated. They do Justice League animated ones now. I like those, the DC animated movies. I watch a lot of those.
Yeah, they're great. War was decent.
Yep,
I didn't like Superman Unbound. That one was kind of
I haven't seen that one.
skip it.
Okay,
Poor Superman.
Superman. What I did really like was the last movie, The Man of Steel.
Yeah,
Actually,
that was decent.
Yeah, I
I
thought
like,
I like Zod. I just like the fact,
Zod was great.
yeah. I like the fact that they made Superman kill someone. It brings a different storyline. I don't think he kill people.
No,
I don't think so.
no.
Like,
If they follow any comic line, they should really follow Injustice. Have you read that or played the game?
No.
It is one of the best DC storylines ever. It's so brutal.
Yeah.
I'll have to download it.
Yeah, the Joker threatens to blow up Metropolis with a nuclear bomb or whatever, and whatever, he makes Superman basically kill Lois while Lois is impregnated with his child. And so Superman rips the still beating heart out of the Joker's chest
Nice.
and starts taking over the world because he can.
Every
it's
time someone says Lois, all I can think of is Lois Griffin. So you said like
Lois.
to kill Lois. All I could hear was Peter saying, "Kill Lois." Like that was the worst Peter Griffin impression.
A dead Lois.
Good God, they use I don't know if any of you guys know what this is, but it's entropy based password calculations. So, okay, this is gonna get really, really nerdy. So with your password, sites will use a logarithm to predict how strong your password is, and basically what the entropy based system does is you can't use your stereotypical like password 13579 exclamation mark. It has to be really random, like my dog is a cat, with all the spaces and everything like that, because those spaces, you can actually go into a website and put in a password calculator. Spaces add so much more brute strength cracking time. It's all about brute strength cracking is all about how long it would take for somebody to physically just sit there and keep typing password after password until they figure it out. So when you add spaces and, you know, different words, capitals and all that, you literally will see this calculator pop up saying that it would take this many trillion times per second of attempts over the next 100 years for this person to try and just brute strength crack into your password.
Yeah, that always bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, literally.
I just accidentally hit the reset button trying to figure this out because, you know, why read directions?
I just imagine an old man in a cave, like trying to figure out an entropy-based password. Like he's done it since he was 20, and like he's just using like this old computer covered in dust, and he's like, "I've done it."
This thing is so picky.
Yeah, you have to have a capital letter, a question mark, a blood of a virgin.
How will you ever remember that shit?
You won't.
Yeah,
And then
you won't. You're just always gonna be like resetting your password. I feel like I have to do that often. Like,
yeah, more
going-
often than actually remember your password
Yeah.
and putting it in. It's ridiculous.
My password when I was a kid, Star Wars. For everything, always. I remember that shit.
Mine was
Look.
Hagrid.
Yeah.
Nice. Mine's been my school password that they assigned me when I was a freshman. It's 3 random letters, 4 random numbers. Usually works, and then you just capitalize in space where you need to.
I should probably get something better than Batman 88.
Oh my god, I already forgot it before I could confirm it. This is gonna be
They'll
rough.
probably know if you copy and paste it too.
Probably, man. I mean, this is really.
You know, think of who you're dealing with here. It's Pixar. I have this feeling that they recruit like the best of the best. The nerdiest of the nerds.
Should we stop and see if this is actually like picking up audio?
Oh, yeah, we didn't even think to do that.
Yeah, well enough that it's usable.
Let's just take a pause.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't know.
Ross offered to continue co-hosting with us each
Yeah,
week.
Definitely. I don't
We
know
were
if you-
talking about just putting it out each week. I mean, going beyond the project that I have to do for school.
Yeah,
So-
definitely.
wouldn't
I
mind
definitely
doing it.
would.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Pop in. You have some good information.
Yeah.
Plus, the more you guys talk, the less I have to.
Well, we can talk for days about nerd stuff. We could talk for days about Star Wars. We can do an entire Star Wars episode.
You
Yeah.
know what we haven't talked about yet? Magic cards.
No, Magic the Gathering.
I'll have nothing to bring to that conversation.
Dude,
Just
I
teach him
have-
how to play. Give him a deck. Teach him how to play.
I've blown up Amazon over the past 3 weeks since this son of a bitch Travis got me, him and Matt got me back into it
Dude,
again.
once you start playing,
I was
Magic
out
the
for
Gathering,
years.
There is no out. There is no out. You will play until you're dead. It's the game of kings.
I know they don't make pre-made elf decks anymore because they just were too powerful. Because like the last edition, I think was like the 7th edition when they made it. That was when 2003 when I was a freshman.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I feel
Onslaught deck.
maybe not that, but yeah, I remember
I still use those cards.
those elf
to
decks are
great effect.
crazy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've played Travs before.
Yeah, you got an elf deck, don't you?
My elf deck's a little bit different though than standard. Like standard elf decks really get out like a bunch of elves basically
Yeah.
to generate mana and to have a few effects, and then they pull in giant creatures and make them more giant. My elf deck just makes tiny elves into giants. My record is well over 1,000 damage in one turn, which is, if you play Magic, you start with 20 life, so dealing 1,000 damage is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just like my asshole deck.
Yeah, that deck is an asshole.
It's just counters and artifacts. Everything he tries to play,
That's what I would
I
like.
just counter it.
I think that
Then
would
it goes
honest-
away.
I would buy a deck for just counters.
That's what I have, man. I'll show you it later. It's a 138 card deck. It's fat, but it pumps out.
I want a sliver deck.
Sliver decks are where
Slivers.
it's at.
If I hear someone say deck again,
Are you gonna deck someone? All right. Let's talk about something Ross can talk about, so I can hear his smooth, sexy voice again.
no, I don't. You guys are talking about decks. It just sounds funny.
Talk about
I want
decks.
a sliver deck. Oh, dude, my elf deck.
Check out my counter deck. My land destroying deck.
No one's gonna make the big black deck comment.
Yeah, see, that's what I was
Big old
saying.
black
Like the
deck.
whole time, I was just like, man, like from an outsider's perspective.
We're fucking weird.
Yeah, they're just talking about decks over here. There's a bunch of dudes talking about their decks.
It's funny. I started a new job recently, and I finally found the people I like.
Well-
My culture is everywhere.
Do you watch Trailer Park Boys?
Yeah, season 9 just came out.
Yeah, I was at work and like there's this new guy that started and I didn't, I was feeling him out and I heard him talking to someone else and he was like, "Oh, you got to put your shit guards up." And I was like, "Oh, your shit guards, Barb?" And he was like, I was like, "Oh man, this guy likes Trailer Park Boys." And then we started talking and then like I was doing something and I just dropped like some random Simpsons quote like, "Oh, I wasted my life." And he was like, "Oh, Simpsons." And like I was like, "Man, we speak the same language."
Right.
Of just garbage.
Yeah.
Like just quotes.
Scores of useless
Yeah.
information.
I have wasted my life.
Oh, it reminds me of the Simpsons movie when they're about to destroy Springfield with the bomb or whatever, and like comic book guy's sitting with his comic books.
That's the
and he's
exact
like,
scene.
life well spent.
Oh wait, no. The other scene is like, I think there's a bomb coming towards Springfield, and the comic book guy's like, but Aquaman, and he's like reading a comic book, and then he sees the bomb come towards him, and he's like, oh, I've wasted my life. So in the movie, they went full circle. He's like, life's well spent.
Did you like the Simpsons movie? A lot of Simpsons fans, for whatever reason,
I
didn't
liked
like it. I thought it was brilliant.
It was good. It was a good movie.
Hour and a half long Simpsons episode.
Bart's deck was in it.
Right.
Yeah.
He had a yellow deck, which is very rare.
I was spacing out for a second.
Yeah, you're just over here making cumulonimbus.
Dude, that's my vape name, alright?
Your vaping name. What if people had vaping names? That would be so nerdy. What's your vaping name, bro?
I mean, it's a
Cumulonimbus.
relatively new culture. I mean,
Yeah.
you might be able to slip that in.
I don't
somewhere.
even like it being. I do
I
it,
shoot
but like
clouds all day.
it's shameful. Like this is silly.
It's an
Vaping.
adult pacifier, is basically what
Yeah,
it is.
it totally is.
Which is I mean, well, whatever.
I suck on my pacifier all day.
But so are cell phones. Like so
Yeah.
are smartphones. We're being pacified.
I'm on that all day too.
Yeah. Well, what did we do before that?
Is it? Like, there's so much-
It's hard to remember what we did before that.
It is.
You know what?
It's really hard.
That was pretty much just before the iPhone.
I know.
Like, before the iPhone.
it
we did
wasn't
not
that
do
long
this, like,
ago.
even-
Yeah, and it wasn't. That
was 2007, I think.
Yeah, I've only had a smartphone
It's
since
been less than a decade.
2010.
Yeah, that's when I got my first one. But
yeah,
still,
it was about
like,
that time. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is this is what we used to do before it.
Yeah.
You sit around
We
and
sit
talk
around
about
and actually talk. Now we sit around, hey man, check out this post.
Yeah.
My girlfriend would always be like, "Oh, you're on your iPhone all the time," and I'd be like, "No, I'm not," and like I didn't realize it, but now I'm starting to realize it, and now she just got the new iPhone, and I'll be like on mine, and I'll look up, and she'll be on hers, and I'm like, "What are we fucking doing?
Right. Yeah.
What are we
it's-
doing?
Well,
We're not doing anything."
I'll be at a campfire, and 7 out of the 10 people are like
Yeah.
this. And I'm like,
Oh yeah, and I'm totally that person. Like
Yeah.
you see that and you're like, man,
yep.
that is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe people do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
As we were speaking, I checked my phone, realized it was dead, and I'm ashamed to say there was a small break in my heart.
Yeah, it's, or like when you like leave your phone somewhere. Like if I was downstairs and left my phone upstairs, there would be like it would feel like
Yeah.
I was missing something.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing too. If you are downstairs and the bathroom is upstairs and you have to piss, I will be lazy enough to sit there for another 45 minutes, almost pissing my pants. But if I forget my cell phone up there, I am up those stairs
Yeah.
Yep.
faster than any fat man should be.
Yeah, you gotta have your thing. It's like it's part
It's part
Have
of
you
life.
noticed this
Like,
thing where like
I mean, that's first world problems.
it
but
sucks.
I
But, yeah.
can't sit down and like watch like a TV show at home without grabbing my phone and immediately like I'm on it. I'm doing two things
Yeah.
at once constantly.
For me,
Always.
it's like going from one room to another. If I get up and walk from like my living room to my kitchen, like that walk, I'm like surfing the internet on that walk. And then I'll get in my kitchen and I'll find myself standing there staring at my phone like Donnie Darko, like staring in the mirror at like for 5 minutes. You know, like just like I'm doing a visual gag on a podcast that's audio only. But yeah, like just staring at my phone like some weirdo. And then snap out of it like, what am I doing? Oh, I'm reading about some useless crap.
Yeah.
Like, I could have just come in the kitchen, done what I had to do, gone back to the other room, and done what I had to do there. But like, I've wasted so much time being
Yeah.
enthralled by this device.
Just so you could know that the Daredevil movie will, or the Deadpool movie will in fact be rated R,
Yeah,
That is awesome.
which is awesome.
That has to be that way.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
it better be hard R too, like
Yeah, and-
80s action flick R.
Like
Yeah.
Punisher, like
Yeah.
Punisher Warzone, even.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that we talked about this last time? Have you seen that fan flick Punisher?
Dirty Laundry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It's
It
awesome.
has
haven't
Frank
seen it.
Castle
good.
in it.
Oh.
Like, I mean, it's him, right? That's
Yeah.
the actual dude who played Frank Castle in the first one.
Tom Jane.
Yeah. He
Tom
he
Jane?
he,
Tom
he
Jane.
financed that himself. He wanted to be Punisher, and he wanted them to do a hard Punisher so much that he financed that whole short film himself and said, Like, here's my.
Ron Perlman was in it too.
It's so
I'll
good.
have to watch it. I didn't know that. I will definitely watch it.
It's so good.
It's from the same guy who did the Power Rangers.
Yeah, because Thomas
Gritty
Jane
one.
felt really shortchanged in the first Punisher because it was like neutered, you know, it was
Yeah.
like silly,
Big time.
and
He
yeah.
stuck a popsicle on a guy for torture.
Yeah,
Popsicle.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Punisher would just torture.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The-
Warzone actually did some justice to. I gotta say,
I like
it's not as
Warzone.
like
It was silly, but it, was really
silly,
good.
yeah. But like,
But I mean, we're really gonna go back to the comic books. I mean, Punisher was the badass, right? But I mean, that whole world is just silly. Like, he's gonna have to adapt to that. I mean,
Yeah.
he came from a Spider-Man comic.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
It's
this
the
is
epitome
first-
of
Did
silly
Did you
Yeah.
guys see
silliness in comics.
the Star Wars cartoon that guy made?
the TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
Dude, that was badass.
That's so good. It's
That
so
was-
good. I hope he gets like something out of that. Like that, if that was the like caliber of cartoon that Star Wars franchise is putting out, it would just be amazing.
Yeah,
They'd have so much more audience.
it
space.
was. Have you seen it?
no.
Oh,
Look
we
it
have
up. It's
to
called the
watch
TIE
that.
Okay.
Fighter. It's brilliant. It didn't have any dialogue.
No, but
Uh,
he could put dialogue in later because the
Yeah.
mouths were moving.
The mouths were moving, but there wasn't a dialogue. It was.
But have you seen? I saw him. It's taken him 4 years to put that together.
I
Like
believe
in his
it.
weekends. 2 years ago, there was like a 2-minute segment that I saw. Like 2 years ago, I remember seeing it and being like, "Whoa, this is cool!" And it was just 2 minutes, and now it's like 7 minutes, I think.
7 and 9 or something like that. Yeah.
But he's got the music and like everything. He could very well go back and put in dialogue.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah, it was definitely a brilliant, and like the cool thing about the new Star Wars movie is like, those are going to be the type of people who are making it. I
Yeah.
mean, the type of people who grew up, loving Star Wars and hating Jar Jar Binks. Like, those are the people whose hands that franchise is in now. So that's why my hopes are incredibly high for Star Wars in the coming years.
I really like that they got J.J. Abrams too.
Yeah.
And
J.J.
it's just
Abrams.
funny that they got the Star Trek director.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's just that's just like a fuck you to Star Trek, maybe to take away their. I don't know.
Well, people were saying that he made Star Trek like he would have made Star Wars. So like
That's
Star
what,
Trek was his audition tape to
Yeah.
get Star
So
Wars.
I know he's a big fan of Star Wars, but like.
Yeah.
And I don't want
It's
to
just
downplay those
funny.
movies either.
No,
He
they
did
were
a
good.
fantastic job with that. I mean, I've always been kind of a. Like, I'm definitely more of a Star Wars fan than I'm a Star Trek fan. But I mean, it's a sci-fi show. It was on TV. I didn't have cable growing up. I watched Star Trek.
Yeah.
I didn't, so I was actually good in it. I still haven't after the movies, but at the same time, like I really like those movies. I know a little bit about, like I've seen clips, but I've never like sat and
I listened to Star Trek podcasts before. Star Trek actually allows anybody to use their content as long as you're not making money. So you can use all the character names, any sound effects, any whatever, the Enterprise, blah, blah, blah. But there's a podcast group called Giant Gnome Productions, and they do really cool Star Trek audio dramas that were really sweet. Like they did this one called the Section 31 Files. And it was
Section
like,
31 is cool.
yeah, it's all like that secret group within
Within Starfleet.
yeah, Starfleet. Wow.
It's
Space and
it's really funny that you bring that
Space
up
on Starfleet.
because I actually read like it was a book series, because most of the shows not up until Star Trek Enterprise, they never really mentioned Section 31. That was kind of like a outside the show universe thing. They had a book series, and I read all the book series. So then when I'm sitting in the theater watching the Abrams flick and they bring up Section 31, I was just like, okay, yeah, this is great. Like it stayed so true to the source material that if he does that with Star Wars, it's gonna be amazing.
I can't wait. I'm bummed that they wiped out the entire expanded universe though, because I read a lot of those books.
Yeah,
that was like
the Timothy Zahn books.
yeah, that was
They did?
that was childhood. Yeah, that's done. That's
Okay.
that's they
No
struck
longer
that from
canon.
the- yeah, it's no
like I
longer
know they're
canon.
like releasing.
The Marvel comics though,
That looks awesome.
that is canon.
Yeah,
They're doing a Darth Vader, a Princess Leia, I think possibly a Han Solo. I can't remember, but it's Marvel. They put out Star Wars comics before.
Because the Han Solo trilogy of books, like the Star Wars novels, those are really good. That could have been
From what I read,
early
those at
Han
very
Solo
young age.
film, like easily. That could have been the Han Solo trilogy of films. Just
Yeah.
got a young actor to play him. Maybe
They
maybe Chris
were-
Pine, or not
they
Chris
were-
Pine. What is his name?
Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. Not Chris Pine.
No, I don't think you could pull off.
Captain Kirk playing Han
They-
Solo.
They actually were looking at doing a young Han Solo, but the actor they were looking at is gonna make you angry.
Shia.
No, oh God, no. It's a little like a smidgen better than that. Robert Pattinson.
Ugh. Why?
No, he doesn't even look like him.
No, he
Have
really
you guys
doesn't.
heard the Shia LaBeouf Cannibal song?
No.
Oh my god,
totally
it's like
see him do
it's so good. It's like it actually made me like cry just from the human achievement of the whole thing. It's yeah, type Cannibal Shia LaBeouf into YouTube. It's really funny.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. Does he eat people?
I can't say.
Can't divulge. Yeah.
You can't say.
I-
You have to see it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
It's just not the same.
Well, the Suicide Squad movies got the Joker, Deathstroke, and then Killer Croc. I don't know if anyone knows
Yeah.
Killer Croc. Yeah, all in it as like villains on top of like Deadshot, Will Smith's Deadshot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Margaret.
Did they
Harley
replace-
Quinn? They
Yeah,
got
Harley
their-
Quinn.
Margaret or Megan. I don't even know. Margaret Robbie. Can't speak.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Robbie, yeah.
She's
Um,
smoking.
Did they replace Tom Hardy yet?
Yes, with Joe Kinnaman of The Killing. If you've ever seen that show.
I have seen ads pop up on Netflix.
It's a really good show, but yeah, he's in it. He's a good choice.
Is
Jared Leto as the Joker.
I think he'll be decent at that, I think.
Yeah.
Not excited?
Well, Ben Affleck is Batman, so
Yeah.
Dude, have
yeah.
you seen he's fucking like bulked to shit now.
Yeah,
like
he
he's
looks-
like getting ready for this role. It takes 3 people to put him in his bat suit too.
Takes him like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I
But he-
will reserve judgment on Batfleck until I see it.
I think it's a good choice. Like his directing movies. I don't know if you've ever seen like The Town or the Boston
Yeah.
Bank Robbers. I love that movie.
No, he's done.
Yeah, Argo. Like,
It's just I don't know, man.
I actually thought it was probably the best choice they could have gotten.
Well, yeah, I mean, the two
Personally.
people I know that know, well, I don't really know one of them, but the two people I know of that know the most about Batman, which would be him and Kevin Smith, both, like,
Kevin Smith's
love
like
that choice.
Ben Affleck's best friend.
Yeah.
Well,
That's like
but still.
biased.
But I mean, his love for Batman would go, I don't know.
Yeah,
But what about
If
like
we ever meet Kevin Smith, I'm going to ask him which he loves more, Ben Affleck or Batman.
what about the guy who played Dredd? He would have made it. Keith Urban. That would have been a killer Batman.
Could have been pretty. I could see
Was that the... Wait,
Like his face in the
Judge
cowl
Dredd,
would've
that
looked
wasn't...
His name was Keith Urban.
Yeah, he's Bones in the new
Yeah,
Star Wars.
yeah,
Carl-
that guy.
Carl-
Keith, yeah.
Carl, yeah,
Yeah,
not
Carl,
Keith. Keith
yeah.
Urban's the
I was like,
No,
I
no,
was
no,
like,
yeah, I
you
did
said
Carl-
that like
Carl
it didn't
over,
like
yeah.
register right away. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but as soon as I got it, yeah. No, that
I was
would have
thinking
been
Keith
alright.
Urban
he
as
would've been
Batman.
good.
He would defeat all
I
of
don't-
his
he would've been a
enemies
good
by
Batman,
singing
but I'm
about
not
the
sure
Dunkin'
about-
Donuts.
I'm not sure about how he'd be at a Bruce Wayne.
People had doubts on Christian Bale too initially.
Yeah.
Look how that turned.
Well, yeah, look about
and Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got probably one of the best villain performances, probably best performance in a comic book based movie in ever.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I don't think Jared Leto will top that, but I think he'll be alright.
What about Halle Berry's Storm? That was really
Oh, God. Ugh.
what happens to a frog in a lightning storm?
What happens to a frog in a lightning storm? She turns into Catwoman. Which don't even... I like 10 minutes of that movie, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Might have seen the first 10 minutes. Might.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, oh, it's on. And done.
Yeah, that's why you were done, huh? Halle Berry in a Catwoman suit, and you were done in 10
Yeah.
minutes. More like 2.5.
Oh, it was like 30 seconds. And I tried to stomach the rest of the movie, and it didn't work.
gonna have to edit that part out for the project.
I'll leave it in. It's hilarious.
I think I'm just gonna put up 2. One where it's just wide open and just on the channel, and then I'll just edit one for the school project. Cut out all the naughty bits. I'm not bleeping the swear words this time though. That's too much work.
That is a lot of work.
Don't bleep swear words.
Yeah.
I realized I asked Jessica and she didn't care.
No, she didn't care last year.
High school, they cared.
Yeah, I mean, we're all fucking adults here.
We should probably just.
Well, I suppose we're cresting on an hour. Do you guys want to wrap it up?
Sure.
I never really thought of a clever way to sign out of this yet, so stay nerdy, I guess. I don't know. I feel like that was said somewhere already.
Is that a podcast?
Is that on the Nerdist?
No, they say enjoy your burrito.
That's it. Okay.
Pete Holmes says keep it crispy.
I know that one.
I can't remember any of the other ones.
So we needed our own tagline.
I guess.
That's milking.
All right, then.
Milk your own cow.
And that's all the sock that would fit in the shoe. Thanks, everybody.
Actually.
I like it.